And then to see him have these mood swings, more frequent, and it was scary, it really was. And I didn't like it. To be honest with you, I just didn't like it at all.
I ain't even gonna lie. To me, I thought this shit was funny. You know what I'm saying? And I wouldn't necessarily call them mood swings. If I had to put a label on it, I just call it pressure. Elvis had more pressure than a lot of these dudes. They was there for the ride, but didn't understand that he's the driver. He's the one that puts the gas in the car. He's the one that keeps up the maintenance, and all y'all gotta do is sit in the back seat. That's a lot of pressure. That's all I'm saying. What happened with Sonny and Elvis? Same shit, different day. Same shit, different day. But this day, things got a little out of hand, I say. Things got a little out of hand. I don't want to say too much. I rather just let him tell his own story, you know what I mean? But what I will say is this. Peanut butter and banana sandwiches ain't the only thing that was on the menu. Elvis was serving some knuckle sandwiches. Some straight knuckle sandwiches.
I said, look, I quit. I'm out of here. He said, you can't quit. You're fired. I said, whatever, Elvis. I said, I'm out of here. So I start to go, leave the room. He gets around in front of me, confronts me. All of a sudden, he hit me.
What did the 5 fingers say to the face? What? Slap!
Went to his karate stance. My head just kind of turned like this here, and I turned around and I looked at him. He's the only man that ever hit me I didn't hit back. And I looked at him and I said, I never thought you could do that, Elvis. Tears started coming down my eyes.
I was like, he gonna cry in the car. He definitely gonna cry in the car.
If I had hit him, I would have hurt him bad. Michael, I hit awful hard. My whole fighting situation was hit hard and fast and put him down. And I loved him too much to hit him. Like hit my brother, you don't.
Nah. If he would have hit Elvis, we would have jumped him. Or Elvis would have shot him.
As an overweight Elvis turned 40, Johnny Carson's wisecracks on that occasion got big laughs all over America, except around a certain TV set in Memphis, Tennessee.
Everybody knows Johnny Carson's a bitch.
And this particular night, he come on, he said, they was talking about entertainers and stuff like that, and Johnny Carson said, yeah, I hear Elvis is fat and 40. And he reached over and he got the remote control and he turned it off and he said, I never did. That some bitch never was funny to me. He said, I never did like it.
So, a certain somebody had a bad gambling problem, you know what I'm saying? And they started stealing from my boy. And this is where Elvis started doing his gangster shit, you know what I mean? And we had to go all the way to the airport to go and fix a little situation.
So Red and Elvis went on out there to the plane, and Elvis holds that badge up with his ID and is telling him to, whoa, stop the plane. Well, the pilot thought that Elvis had missed the flight. He recognized Elvis, so he called back to the ground crew and told them to roll the steps back up.
The flight attendant, she's looking out the doorway before the stairs come down. She's, what's going on? What's going on? And I looked at her and I pointed. I said, you! Shut the fuck up.
And Elvis comes up there and says, well, sorry, sir, to stop the plane, but we're looking for a fugitive. And he said, a fugitive? He said, aren't you Elvis Presley? He said, yes, but I'm also an agent. He showed him that badge, I'm a federal agent, and we're looking for this guy. He said, well, was he armed, or is he dangerous? And Elvis said, no, he's not dangerous, just something we need to take him in for some questioning and everything.
So I walk on the plane, and I just stood there, and I'm like, wow, is this what first class feels like?
And so Elvis asked the pilot says, what time y'all supposed to get in Memphis? He said, Memphis? He said, Mr. Presley, we're going to San Francisco. Elvis said, Red, come on, we got the wrong damn plane.
So I ran down the stairs, and I had me like a situation like Biden did. You know what I'm saying? It was a struggle. It's fucked up though, because when I failed, did nobody come and help me? You know what I'm saying? I see everybody running this shit like that. I see Elvis got his little cape shit flapping in the wind, and I'm just on the ground holding my knees and shit. But I had to pick up the momentum, and I passed up everybody, got on the next plane before everybody did, and I seen him. I said, "There he goes!" I yelled it hella loud.
About that time, here comes Elvis. He said, walking up, and he said, James, you got the right to and all that other shit. Get him in the car and let's go, guys. He couldn't think of the Miranda rights, and it was just all that other shit. Let's go.
So I smacked him on the back of the head hella hard and put his ass in the back seat. And I'm sitting in the back seat with him and smacked his ass one more time in the ear.
And all of a sudden he says, y'all taking me out to the desert, ain't you? We said, no, James, we're not taking to the desert. Well, I want you to know, my daddy knows what time that plane comes in. If he doesn't, if I'm not on it, he's going to want to know why.
I'm sitting there listening to what the fuck he's saying, and I had hit him with that face, you know what I'm saying? And I told him straight like this, fuck your daddy.
Here comes Elvis out of that bedroom, steps down those 3 steps, man, started walking, kind of tugs at his belt there and walks up to him and said, why? Why did you do it?
I'm sitting there getting frustrated. I'm like, Elvis, my boy, fuck the talking, whoop his ass now! Whoop his ass!
James, I don't know. And all of a sudden he says, tell me, and he reached over and he popped him. And a little ring, it had made a little scratch thing on his forehead, a little trickle of blood starts to.
One hitter quitter. One hitter quitter.
When Elvis and his daddy fought, it was really bad. I mean, Gladys and him getting a fight, it was different. But boy, when Vernon and Elvis getting a fight, it was one of those bad, because Vernon had a very sharp tongue.
Yeah, when Vernon and when Elvis get into it, I'm about to tell you, that be some good shit right there. That be some good shit to tune into, especially if it's early in the morning.
And when they got in an argument, I mean, boy, you cleared the place cleared real fast, because, you know, it was dangerous.
I didn't clear shit. I stayed right there, you know what I'm saying? I want to hear this shit. I want to hear this shit here. Vernon be saying some shit, and Elvis could be saying some shit. Those are 2 slick battles, you know what I'm saying, for the price of one. I'm definitely not leaving this room, dark cloud and all.
About 5 o'clock in the afternoon, Elvis had just gotten up and sitting in the dining room. He's eating breakfast, and he's sitting there, and there's 2 or 3 of us around the table with him. We're just, you know, quiet. You know, you had to be quiet till he had his first or second cup of coffee and woke up a little.
Yeah, that morning, I ain't even gonna lie, he had seemed a little irritable, a little irritated and whatnot, but, you know, it wasn't nothing new at all.
Didn't like to talk business, certainly wouldn't do it until after he ate or whatever, and Vernon walked in and said, son, we got a problem. I don't want to hear it, Daddy.
That's right.
Did not raise his head up. He still went on in. He said, I don't want to hear it right now.
I was like, yeah, Vernon. He don't want to hear that shit right now. Vernon.
And Vernon kept on. And Elvis said, I said, I don't want to hear it now. I don't want to talk about it now.
I could see shit is getting serious. So, you know, I did what I do usually because I was high. And try to make light of the situation. Looked over at Vernon and I yelled out, you know what I'm saying? In a little playful way, I was like, Vernon! Let me see your tits.
And Elvis looked at him and he says, look, goddammit. I said, I don't want, he said, you know better than to come talk to me about business before I've had my breakfast and what have you. He says, look, I'm the goddamn boss here. Elvis said that to his father.
I was like, yeah, he is the head honcho, Vernon. That is true.
And his father said, yeah, but you ain't man enough to make me do it. And Elvis says, well, by God, I am. He says, I'm a lot more man than you are.
Shit, at this point, I got a mysterious phone call. I had to walk outside. This shit was getting a little too extreme for me. You know, I don't like white-on-white violence at all.
And Vernon said, no, not even half. And Elvis got up, picked up a chair and the plate, both at the same time, wham, across the room, and went upstairs.
I said, God damn, you strong as hell, boy.
Christmas time with Elvis naturally meant extravagant gifts, but Elvis had a way of handling people who got too greedy.
It was a good Christmas, too. It was a real good Christmas. Elvis had got me 2 new cars, had paid off my house, and the fellas had got me a one-way trip to Africa.
There was one guy in particular who basically showed up at Christmas, if no other time, because he wanted to see what, you know, Elvis was going to give him.
But little did we know that Elvis had gifts. He came bearing gifts for everybody.
He says, look, he said, I've done something special this year because I really feel you deserve what's in this envelope. And he hands them out to everybody. And this guy in particular, I'm looking at him and everybody's looking at him, and he's saying, oh yeah, Elvis, which is the way he sometimes would talk, and he's opening up the envelopes because he's expecting something really special, and he pulls it out of the envelope, and his eyes just couldn't believe what he was looking at. It was a 50-cent McDonald's certificate.
But I told him he should have got him the 25-cent gift card to McDonald's, though. The 25 cent, 50 cent, that's too much money.